Hey there, I'm Douglas, an urban planner based in Kampala, Uganda. Welcome to my video series on how to render urban design master plans using Adobe Illustrator. In this tutorial series, we learn how to take GIS or OpenStreetMap data, bring it into AutoCAD, and then clean it up and prepare it in Adobe Illustrator to be able to create illustrative plans that can be used in your day-to-day urban planning projects and also your schoolwork in case you are a student. So, voila, let's get into it. So open ArcGIS environment and roughly select out an area that you want to work on. Select all the data within that area, and with the geoprocessing toolbar, go ahead and run the export to CAD tool. You can select out all the features that you want by clicking them here, or you can go ahead and type them in the search bar and they'll be displayed right there. After selecting all the features, give your DWG file a name in the output file section over here. You can also go ahead and use the file icon here and select an exact location where you want to save your data. For me, within the project file, I'm selecting a new folder, and I'm calling it Adobe Illustrator. So make sure your coordinate system and extents are well set, and make sure that the extents are to the viewport so that you don't have any unnecessary data. Those of us interested in OpenStreetMap, go into your Google search, type OpenStreetMap, click the first results. If you know where your area is, you can zoom and pan to there, but if you don't, you can just search it and there you go. Also, similarly as we've done in GIS, approximate an area that you want. You can try out these various decimals that will help you display specific information that you may be interested in. But be careful with these, as some of these will limit that image export section. So the image export section basically enables you to export data in various formats such as SVG, PDF. SVG and PDF all work fast, but I would recommend PDF because SVG is unnecessarily tasking to your laptop or machine. Go ahead and export your PDF, give it a name, and when you are ready, just drag it and drop it into Illustrator, and there you'll be able to pick up with everyone else. So let's go back in AutoCAD and go ahead and open your DWG file. If you're asked to open, just click continue opening. So what I usually do, I select out a specific focus area. For example, here it's my circle, and I delete out all the data that is outside that area. I do that for the streams, I do that to the buildings. Go ahead and clean up some of the messes that come with GIS here, and make sure that your data is ready and nice to rock and roll. If you feel your data is ready enough, click the layout tool and first of all, delete the viewport that is there. Right click on layout and go to page setup. Under page setup, click the printer that you want to use. I'm using Nitro PDF Creator. Select the paper size that you want. I'm gonna use the A1, and when you're done, click OK. Back to the layout, type the word viewport and choose a single viewport. That's what you really need. Right click from the left to right and drag in your viewport. Okay, so double click your viewport, and what we want to do is to set the scale of the drawing. But before that, you have to first make sure that you are within the right units. So go to the model space and type negative DWG units so that you can be able to select and make sure that you have the right units that you're using. So after that, come back to your layout space. right click, double click the viewport, right click on scale and click customize. So what I usually love to do is to delete out all these unnecessary scales because they are really just populating my work environment. After that, I can click any scale here and you click edit, then you can customize it to any scale that you want. Like here I've selected 500, but 500 turned out to be quite too large for the area, so I sampled out quite a number of scales until I get a right scale. Do the same until you find something that you want. As I was working, I realized I need space for my wording, the title, subtitle, whichever I'm gonna put there. So I reduced my viewport here, as you can see, and went out and just selected 400. 400, the scale of 400 was working just perfect for me. So there we go, voila. So position your work a bit, and when you feel satisfied, type the word plot and this pop-up menu will appear, and check plot object line weights, scale line weights, and click OK. Select a location for your PDF and yep, you are ready. So I want to give us a brief of Adobe Illustrator. So Adobe Illustrator, when you open it, it first looks like this, and I made the tutorial specifically on that. So here, let's go straight and click on the more presets. So you can click on any of these presets depending on what you want. So if you want to print, if you want for film and video, mobile, what we want specifically is to print. So we are going to go into the print section and put in the units of the paper size that we want. It's an A1, and you can change the units here to millimeters. Go ahead and name your document. Make sure it is in CMYK. Bleed is really important. Here I'm putting it at 50, and I'll just explain shortly what bleed will help you achieve. So go ahead and click create. Now your document will first look like this, yeah? And that red line there that you're saying is the bleed. I realized 50 was over ambitious, so I tried out 10, and 10 is still over ambitious, so I'm setting it up here. But what that red line basically does is if you have images that touch the border, it's important to extend them further onto that line so that as you print, your image gets clipped out, yeah? So these are the components of an Adobe Illustrator environment. It contains an artboard. That white space is called an artboard. The space right outside that is called a pasteboard. You can paste there anything. On top we have the main menu bar, then we have the control bar, we have the panels, and we have the toolbar. You can go ahead and change how these display, for example, by using what we call the workspaces. So that is the essentials workspace. We have the painting workspace. If the task that you're going to do at that point is paint intensive, you can move these panels around here and there to create something that absolutely suits you. It's that fluid. Personally, I created mine and I call it Calmless, and this is how it looks. Basically, it gives me the tools that I want on the fly when I'm working. So colors, the color guide, which is a very important tool. As you can see, when you select a color, the color guide gives you all the related colors depending on the theme that you want, whether it's vivid or it's a bit silent, whichever. So now that you know a bit about Illustrator, let's go ahead and import our files. Click File, Place, and locate your document. I'm removing link here because I'm gonna do some destructive modeling. Rotate it, holding shift, so it's 45 degrees, it's rotating at 45 degrees. Use these transform tools to be able to place it there. And what you want to do first is you want to release the clipping mask here so that you can be able to remain with just your data. And I'm grouping it here, and I'm using those transform tools to ensure that it is all positioned in the middle of the document. Now back to the people who are using OpenStreetMap. So you also ungroup your document, and now what you want to do is you want to first distribute all your data layers within various layers. So for example, buildings here, click one of the features, then select the main menu there, select by appearance, and that will do the select similar in AutoCAD command. Yeah. So also on the roads, I click those roads and then I can select by appearance, and drag that. If you see what happens when I click on that, that blue dot, that highlight appears on the side, so I can easily drag and move those elements to that layer. So I'm deleting all the underlying layers, that dark layer, because it's basically a repetition of the above. So go ahead and reclassify all your data into the various thematic layers that you want until you end up having all your data on different layers. As you can see here, buildings and roads all on separate layers. Back to AutoCAD, we are doing the same as what the colleagues in the OpenStreetMap have done there. Make sure that you ungroup your data, click on one of the features, and you can use the select, same, appearance, or you can use any feature that you want, fill, stroke, whichever that suits you best. So I'm using fill and stroke here. You can press Ctrl X to cut, create a new layer, give it a label. RDF is for roads, and you can press Ctrl Shift V for pasting in place. So do the same. Here we are going to do one for rail. Yes, so you go ahead and select the rail, select similar. I hope now you know this tool. Select same, appearance, and what you can do also, instead of cutting and pasting, you can always use, as you're saying, that highlighted dot on the side. And when you drag it to the other layer, then it moves everything into that layer. So do the same for all the features, separating them by layer, so that you can easily be able to turn them on and off, and that greatly improves your workflow. So now I would like us to handle some geometry that you may find that requires you to do some editing in Illustrator. For example, here is River Nile and the Lake Victoria. So basically these are both just water bodies. So you can use letter A or activate the direct command tool, and you can select and delete out the various vertices that you don't need. For the vertices that are closer together, you can highlight them and press Ctrl J for join. And this is how you make different lines turn into one line, because if you want to fill out this space, you have to have all the lines joined together. So we are going to use another tool which you can activate by pressing Shift M, and it's called the Shape Builder tool. So when you select that Shape Builder tool, you are able to select all the faces that are enclosed, and that is how we come about to form these layers. For example, the shape that is for the water, the shape that is for the land, and as you can see here now, I am able to symbolize the Lake Victoria, and I'm deleting out here those extra lines on the side because they are not really relevant for what we are going to do, and adding some colors, not really minding much about the colors because time for that will come, but just to make sure that I can easily tell the difference between things here and there. So you can see here with the layers, if I move this, I decided to move this into a land layer because all that is really soil. And I'm doing the same using the Shape Builder tool. The Shape Builder tool here, I put on the wetlands and put on the land layer, select everything, and I can be able to use the Shape Builder tool to kind of create faces here for the wetlands, for each and every other feature. So wherever you need these faces, go ahead and use the tool to do the same. Now we can see that there are these white spaces that are between wetlands and the lake. Ideally, it's not common that you find this. So what we're going to do is we're going to extend either the wetlands or the lake. I've chosen the lake here, and what you do, you select both that you want and use the Shape Builder tool. Just drag. As you can see here, I select both and drag from one shape to another, and that merges them into one shape. Make sure that you get into the finest detail as much as you can. So one thing that is crucial with this tool is you have to make sure that these lines are crisscrossing each other for it to work. So as you can see here, I'm using the direct selection tool, and I'm making sure that this line is actually cutting the land layer. And in that way, when I select both, I'm able to fill in that shape with the Shape Builder tool. So land uses, we are basically doing the same thing. You highlight everything, get your Shape Builder tool, and you can be able to select out these spaces. The difference here is we are engaging the paint workspace, the painting workspace, and what that helps you to do is that with the Shape Builder tool, if you click on a color and highlight everything, you are able to shade these areas with the very color that you have selected here. So I'm doing a tutorial on the basic tools for Illustrator in as far as urban designers are concerned, and this will illustrate these tools in detail. But for now, the purpose of this tutorial is to ensure that we are doing a master plan for the area, so allow me to focus on that. Building footprints. So building footprints, what I did here basically really, I selected all of them and press Shift X so that I can transfer the shading from the outline to infill, and you can use a darker color here just to illustrate that, so that there is that similitude within your work. I had paused on the land uses, and here I go and try to make sure that I polish up everything and finish up. Yes, so this is how finally the whole environment looked like with that. Now we want to look at road classification. Now the thing is that these tools are really, you're basically using the same ideas but doing them in different kind of perspectives. So I'm here selecting all the roads, and here we are looking at the major road, that is the primary road that is connecting, actually it's the national road that is connecting the various regions within this area. So select the whole thing, give it a layer, move it up. We have already discussed this. So one tip here is that when you are selecting these roads, you can always press the Control key to help you bring up those anchor points so that you know where you have selected and where you are yet to select. Yes, so let's go ahead and symbolize the primary road. So what I did there, I got a big bold black line and I just expanded this stroke, made it darker so that we can have that kind of theme, and I did the same to the urban roads here, as you can see. So you can use the direct selection tool to be able to add in or delete some of these vertices, just to make sure that you do those finer touches for your beautification of your work. So similarly, I did the same to the community roads, but later on in the tutorial, I went ahead and traced some of these roads out to give it a bit more of context. So go ahead and sample this out for all your roads. Now I decided to create a border on the side by drawing a rectangle over all my work and put it on top of all my layers. And what I'm basically wanting to do is try to chamfer it here, but no, the straight on was looking much better. So I'm gonna use the shape builder tool here to trim out. Yes, you can use it as trim. If you, for those who use AutoCAD, you can use it as a trim tool to just cut out everything that is lagging outside your map frame. So this is it, and that is how you can transfer your work from GIS or OpenStreetMap and make it ready in the Adobe Illustrator environment for further processing. Thank you for watching this video, and I encourage you to watch the next video that explores the creation of another thematic map within Adobe Illustrator. You can reach out to me through my portfolio website provided in the description, and let's together explore ways in which we can attain a substantive future for Africa through physical planning. Bye-bye!